second nature for children in the house. I told your family we're getting ready to go live, but this time you had an opportunity to come in the house. We're going live, so make sure if you would like to do a show with me, hit me up, snfchildren@gmail.com. But the lives have to be based on dealing with the mind, the body, or the soul. We could basically cover every area going that way. And make sure that if you would like to join our discussions on Sundays at 8 o'clock, shoot me your email so I can shoot you the link. We getting ready to have Bro D come in and we just gonna have an open discussion tonight, kind of chop it up about some things that maybe he'll like to discuss. And I have a couple of questions for him. So family, just make sure you hit those thumbs up, give us those like, man, so we can move it through the algorithm. And make sure you share this information and make sure you subscribe. Absolutely. Make sure you subscribe so you can get the notifications when we are going live. Once again, I want you to get this. We're starting to do live shows so I can bring you in on the panel so that we can have live discussions. Make sure you go back, look at all of the videos that I put out there. If any of them catch your attention, say, listen to it a little bit. If I've said anything on any of them that you don't agree with, either shoot me a comment or hit me up. We can do a live show on it. I have no problem. And that, like I say, that information is snfchildren@gmail.com. I was trying to give my man D a little time to get in here so we can chop it up a little bit. I hope you come on, click in so we can get it going. We're doing it live now. So, and if you would like to do a live with me, or if you have a youth, you and your child from 5 years old up to 18 years old, if you all would like to come in and let's find out and see what our children are talking about, because I would definitely be doing interviews with our youth. We got to see what's going on in their minds, see how they're doing, because second nature is for the children. I just come back to help the adults out because the children have to go back home to the adults. And so I just want to make sure that the floor is open. From now on, we'll be doing open discussions. I'll be putting information out still constantly during the week, but every Sunday now at 8 o'clock, if you would like to go live with us, shoot me your information so I can make sure you get the link. snfchildren@gmail.com. All right, bro, I'm about to cancel you out and going to do this show myself. Get on up in here now so we can get it started. Until he get here, of course, you know, my thing is complete wellness. And I really want to speak with us about it and have an open discussion with us about complete wellness, because a lot of us are missing it with that complete wellness. A lot of us are not understanding how to take care of ourselves physically, how to take care of ourselves mentally, and how to take care of ourselves spiritually. We're missing it. And so the door is open for you to come, hit me up, and make sure that if you have any questions, you're going out, you're spending a lot of money on physical fitness. And you're wasting your money if you're not ready here. It's not going to last. It's not going to last, I'm telling you, because you have to make it part of your lifestyle. It has to become a habit to you. That's what second nature means. Second nature is something that you do without even thinking about it. So make sure that if you need to hit me up, adults, you hit me up, SNF Children at gmail.com. You want to do a show? Send me your email address so I can send you the link. I say I got Bro D coming in. Let me get him in. And we'll chop it up a little bit. Come on in, Bro D. Come on in. Come on in. Let's chop this up and get a family.
All right, brother. Can you hear me?
Man, I hear you. I wonder what happened to you.
Okay, yeah, I was a little technically challenged. Sorry about that, running a few minutes behind, a little technically challenged.
Okay.
But we're going to get everything rocking and rolling.
Yeah. Well, we in, and everything is going, everything is being recorded. And so we're live, my brother. And I just want to have
good.
With you. And you are Bro D, the one that comes in. I know the people always hear when I'm hollering about Bro D and see your comments out there. So I'm glad that I'm able to get you in. It's my pleasure to have you in the house. It's my pleasure.
Absolutely.
And so tonight I just wanted to get your feed on some things. And I've already given the link out that on Sundays now at 8 o'clock that we're going to be having this live discussion for anyone who would like to join in. And since tonight is our first open live discussion, you and I would just chop it up a little bit right here and just deal with some things right here. So the first thing I'd like to just put out here, and I just want to deal with the race of our people, the religion of our people, the politics of our people, and the wealth of our people. I just want to stop right there just for a moment. And I'm going to leave it right here.
Wow.
Race
those
has
key ones.
Let's do it, Bro D, because I'm gonna let you feedback on this thing right here and get your opinion on this right here. What you think about this right here? Race has disconnected us. Religion has separated us.
Yes.
Politics has divided us.
Yes.
And wealth has classified us.
I like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It just can put us in different categories. And so us as a people, why do you think we're so, and this is gonna be one of your questions too, I'm sure, because you sent me a list of questions that now, since that we're going to be going live, we're going to literally be tackling those questions on the live feed.
Good. Okay.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
So I just want to know what you think about race disconnecting us, religion separating us, politics dividing us, and wealth classifying us. And we're just doing this right off the top of the dome. So give you a minute to kind of think about it and give me your opinion on it.
Yeah. Okay, we'll freestyle a little bit today. You want me to start with the race or the religion, or how you want to do
it? You just jump in there and start shooting how you want to shoot.
Yes. Okay. All right, I'm gonna shoot from the hip, like the old people used to say. Just shoot from the hip,
I want to shoot from the hip.
Okay. I'm gonna start with now the race, that did divide us and everything. And the funny thing is, you pointed out, and if we departmentalize it, 4 different categories, but all of them are interrelated, so, but each one serves a purpose, so I'm gonna start with the race and everything, and the way I kind of departmentalize it, the race, basically you got a classification, it's just like if you buy a car, you get, whether you get a Ford or a Chevy or a Hyundai or, whatever you want to get, a Kia, that's what you want to get, Religion, basically, we go all the way back in history, even, we can go way back even before the 1600s. We can go back to the 14, if you want to go back to, when the Portuguese came and our people was enslaving our own people.
Okay.
Okay. So that's the body. And that's
Okay.
what you speak on in several of your videos, the mind, body, and the soul, you know,
Absolutely.
the different, you know, it's basically like a trilogy. Okay.
Absolutely.
So if you conquer the mind, the body will follow.
Mm.
So they didn't, not only did they enslave us physically, they enslaved us from generations to generation. They enslaved us, you know, physically and mentally.
Okay.
Because what we did was adopted, even when you had the queens of Africa. One of the stipulations, and that was way back in the early 1600s. So if we were read it, which starts with the mind, but most Christians don't do a lot of reading. All they go on is what they were taught. This is what Big Mama taught you. Big Mama's mama taught her, and they just passed from generation to generation. My mother told me about 50 years ago, she said that one of the two biggest ways, you know, and two of the biggest topics that you can have a big falling out and a discussion and an argument, sometimes it could even lead to a physical fight.
Okay.
She said politics and religion.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't get it at first because I was just a little kid.
Okay.
But as I got older, I realized, I said, my God, why are people so sensitive about religion? Because it boiled down to my religion is better than your religion. Your religion is wrong. We didn't interpret it that way. We didn't interpret it this way. So we're going to do it like this. We're going to rock it like this, or we're going to rock it like that. So anytime, I even had a young lady, I was sending some of the clips that we share and everything, and sharing them, when a young lady asked me not to even, don't send that, you know, she's just talking about Jesus. I said, well, you know, I said, I'm just trying to educate a little bit, sister. And this was one of my family members.
So let me ask you something, bro, D. Let me ask you something. Let me interject right there. I may have to jump in just every second. Just when I hear something, I may have to jump in now. Now, so you telling me that in 2023, we still have a group of people that believe that it's one Jesus, and that's it. In 2023, are you telling me that people still believing that it's just one Jesus? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes. That's exactly what I'm telling you.
Oh, so they don't want to hear nothing else besides that. Is
absolutely.
So let me ask you this then. What about the different sectors of Christianity who look at Jesus different? And what I mean by that, Brother D, is what about the ones who say that, and we'll just use two of them. What about the group that say that he's the Son of God and he's not God? Then you have another group that says that no, he is the Trinity, he is all three. So for us to still be in 2023 with all the information that we have now, and do you think that we are enslaved religiously? Is that what got us? Is that what got us, Bro D? Are we enslaved mentally, religiously?
Well, yeah, we are, because anytime, see, here's the thing. It correlates to insanity also. There's a thin line. Socially unacceptable behavior and finding reasoning of socially unacceptable behavior is one of the definitions of insanity.
Okay.
They're saying that when we get to, and that's what we've gotten to right now, because all of the things that we see, a lot of stuff now, even on media, all of the things that used to be socially unacceptable has become socially acceptable.
Okay.
And a lot of times now, the next generation don't even know the difference between the two. And so the religion was brought in to, back in the slavery days, it was for fear and keep the slaves in check, keep them under control. If you remember, I know you're well read, brother. So you remember the Willie Lynch letter?
Absolutely.
out of West Virginia?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, that was the new way to enslave, to keep the slaves under control without beating. That was the new system by
Oh,
Willie
wow.
Lynch. That's where Willie Lynch came from, because that's where that brother was from, the West Indies. And he was like, I will show you a modern and more a better way to control the slaves. So the way, instead of beating them, we get into the mind. So
Okay.
if we get into the mind, we'll control the body. So
Okay.
religion was like, we don't discuss religion
Okay. Okay.
and we don't
So,
question God. I used to hear a lot of people say that in church. Oh, don't do that. But so my question would be, well, what type of God, if God didn't want us to think, why would he give us a mind and a brain?
And we're gonna touch on God in just a second. We're gonna definitely touch on
Yes.
God because I just posed the
Mm-hmm.
question on how many different Jesuses is it, and that's what I want to begin
Mm-hmm.
to have people to come on to let me know in
Mm-hmm.
2023 what make you still believe in Jesus. I just want to have that discussion with a Jesus believer. I just want to have that discussion. So we definitely gonna bring
Mm-hmm.
some people on who believe in Jesus, and then, like I say, I want
Mm-hmm.
to know which Jesus do they represent. You understand? Because
Oh yeah, I understand.
have you ever read? This guy wrote this book back in like 1832. He wrote it in the 1800s, and it covers from like maybe
Okay.
1620 to like 1860 something. Reverend Charles Jones.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote the book on how
Right.
to make the Negro a Christian. And he was writing to the
Mm-hmm.
other slave owners, and he was letting them know that if you want your Negro to obey you and be obedient to
Mm-hmm.
you, all you have to do is indoctrinate them with Christianity, and you'll never have to worry about that Negro acting up again. That's powerful
Mm.
right there. That's powerful right there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we definitely
Yeah.
want to open this panel up and make sure that we have different groups from Christianity or any religion, but definitely Christianity, because I come out of the Black Baptist church where we was taught the Trinity, that Jesus is the Father, the Son, and the Holy
Yes.
Spirit. You understand?
And the
Now,
Holy Spirit.
and the
Yeah.
Holy Spirit.
And I as well.
Now
Yes.
what we got to understand as well is that in religion, belief means you're unsure or you don't know. Some people
Yes.
try to take religion as they know. And if you study a lack of common sense, it's when you try to make your
Mm-hmm.
opinion a fact.
You can't do that because a fact can be substantiated. An opinion is only your opinion, and that can always be disputed. It's not proven, but a fact can be substantiated. So that means if, like, you have on a gray hat, okay, you got on a gray cap. Somebody tell you it's a blue cap. Well, no, it's a fact that you have on a gray cap.
Mm,
It's not blue, it's not green.
mm,
You know,
okay.
it's gray. That's a fact.
Okay.
That can be proven because we're looking at it. So
Okay.
we have the evidence to prove and substantiate that that is a gray cap.
Oh wow. You know what? I'm so excited to have you on, Bro D, and I can't wait until we get more to come on the panel and be able to discuss certain things. So now I have this question, and just give you a second to kind of think about it. But
Mm-hmm.
when you think about God, who has they have given a name,
Mm-hmm.
God. When you think of God, what do you think about? What do you
Mm-hmm.
think about when you hear God? Because different
Mm-hmm.
religions, they have their own God. But I thought it was just one God, the supreme being. I thought it was just
Mm-hmm.
one God, but I'm finding out that when
No.
Listen to this
No.
right here. Do you think that the different religions
Mm-hmm.
took the one God and wrote about it the way they wanted to write about it and made their own God? What you think they did with that?
Well, it couldn't be. Well, they had to do it that way because if you go back it goes back to one of the categories you mentioned earlier, brother. It depended on your race, your ethnicity. You got Hinduism, Buddhism. You know what I'm saying? You say some call themselves Jews. You got Gentiles. You got the Catholic, Kojic. You know, we got all this different stuff, and you know, everybody, each race have like their own religion, but we are the only race that adopted somebody else's religion. Because there's no Catholic, even if you do a PowerPoint or whatever type of presentation you do, and we go back to even, you know, when they rename, you know, the different continents, because we know we are from the motherland, so that's why we are of color and everything, and it goes back to our history. We weren't Catholic. They didn't have any Catholics. And then from my recollection and my studies and everything, okay, if you say Jews, okay, I knew there were different Jews, even when Malcolm X, you know, went over and traveled and everything. He saw different colored people and everything. And so you got Muslims, you got traditional Muslims, and then you got non-traditional Muslims. So from the Islam, you know, you got the Shiites, and it's all different types, but it boils down to what race you are.
Okay. Well, I can't wait to get some of these different religions in here to see how did they take that one God and write their own God about that one God. I'm excited to bring some of these guys or some of these young ladies in so they can really explain this to me. I'm excited about that. Now let me ask you this question. We'll kind of piggy over a little bit. And so we understand that politics definitely divided us. We're divided today with politics. And let me ask you this right here before we move on. Let me ask you this. What you think about what you think about this system? Do you think that your vote counts? Do you think it counts? What you think about voting? Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this before you get started. Do you think people of color are emotional voters? That we're running out to vote because what we had to go through, the struggle that we had to go through to vote. But is our vote really counting? Or is people elected or selected? What you think about voting, just for a brief one? What you think about voting? Are we just emotional voters? Because I need for somebody to come on, and we're gonna have somebody to come on, and they got to let me know, especially their local voting. We'll just do local voting. Did you just vote so the next person didn't get in? Because a lot of people that I speak with that votes, they don't even know what's on the table. They voting for someone that they like. They voting for someone that they've seen the most. They voting because they don't like the other person. But I don't hear a lot of people voting for people that's gonna do something for their best interest. What you think about voting?
That's a good one now, brother. Voting, I think voting is kind of like you have to kind of take, you probably heard this terminology, you take the lesser of the evils, so to speak. It's like if you go to a car dealership, you want to get the best deal you can get. You don't want to get the lemon, of course, but you know that the dealer was shady in the beginning. It's just like, he's trying to sell you. He's going to shoot the gravy to you one way or the other. But you want to get the best deal. So he's not going to be able to make water in the wine because he's just a car salesman. but you're gonna basically get in a situation. Just all you're gonna really get is a little bit better than
Okay.
what you started out with.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, everybody's got their own agenda, because if voting really helped, you know, and I'm gonna do it, you know, because you got like it's not like a straight because it's a couple different things. So I answer each point,
Okay.
each bullet point of your question. That's the first phase right there.
Okay.
But you and I think we're in our mid to late 50s. Okay. So I see a lot of things now that we have progressed, you know, but we still got a whole lot of the issues that we had back in the 60s.
Okay. Okay.
And now we're in 2023. And you have to, most people that do vote, the third phase, as far as are we emotional, a lot of us are, because they don't study the candidates.
Okay.
They don't know what platforms they stand on, or what the candidate what he voted on and everything before he was even a candidate. Most people don't do their research like that.
Okay.
They just
Okay.
want their guy in.
So you think we have you think things have kind of changed and moved forward a little bit further, as let's just deal with voting. Let's stick right there 1 second. You think things have kind of progressed, like you said? Can you give me one progression where you think it has really helped by us voting?
Well, as far as of having the right to vote, we didn't even have a voice, and we're no longer property. We can walk around freely now, and we don't get the dogs and the water hoses sicked on us. But the trade-off, now, even though we have a lot of the technology now, the police now, they gun us down. They gun down Black innocent men, and you still got corruption and everything in the politics. So it's like a trade-off. It's kind of like one step forward and two steps back.
Okay, now yeah. Now further as us being able to move around a little bit more, go to this place, go to that place that we couldn't go to. I got to see where voting played a part in that, because that played more of a part of fighting to integrate. To get us into that place. So I'm excited that we're going to be doing the religion a little bit. We're going to be doing this voting thing a little bit. And then we're going to always make sure that we do solutions. Because now I hear a lot of people always talking about problems. We all know we got some problems, but then there are solutions that we must be working on as well. And let me piggyback 1 second, because I definitely wanted to mention this right here. When you kind of mentioned that things had kind of progressed a little bit, I don't know when the last time you read the Connors Commission report. Have you read that report that came out in '68? Okay.
Right. I haven't actually read that, but I saw one of your videos, and I'm gonna have to dive in there and take a look at that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna check that out tonight.
Yeah, because we definitely gonna talk about that, where L.B. Johnson, commissioned these guys in 1967, which was called the Long Hot Summer, where there was tearing a lot of the cities up, especially up north. And you will see that a lot of the things that we was dealing with back there in the 60s, that we're still dealing with right now today. Now, mind you, when that report came out in February of '68, Dr. King was getting ready to take that report and getting ready to march on Washington. And mind you, he didn't make it. They made sure that he didn't make it. You understand what I'm saying? So we definitely gonna talk about it. If anybody need to go pull it up, is that Connors Commission report, and we'll talk about that later. And when we're talking about the youth, let me tell you something. I don't know if you've thought about this. We haven't had a true youth movement since they killed Fred Hampton in 1969. Now I want you to look at this. I want you to look at the time between
You're right.
69 in 2023. Now, Second Nature for Children came on the scene in 2011, and we've been grinding. Well, between 2012 and right up to COVID, we pulled more young men off the streets than any organization in the city of Atlanta, running our complete wellness program.
Yeah.
And now, yeah, we're evolving and getting ready
Yep.
to take it to another level with our youth and beginning to build a platform so they can come on and speak their piece. We got to begin to listen to our children as well and see what's going on up here, because we got to make sure that we play a bigger role than society, because that's what's happening right now. Society is playing a bigger role than we are as parents and people that's trying to help our people.
Yes.
You know, what you think about that, bro D? What you think about the black man, him making a difference?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Man, we
Is he
got
lost?
so much work.
Is he
very
lost?
lost.
Okay.
Very, oh God, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I don't even know how much time we got to cover that. But this segment, we're in bad shape, brother. Okay. I hear more black men talking about killing one another, selling dope, and how many women they slept with, or how many brothers they shot, or how much time they did in prison and how hard they were supposed to be. So they have sensationalized and glorified the things that aren't even good. So that goes back to earlier, I said insanity. You know, I don't know if you saw the Chris Rock video, but he said something that made a lot of sense that had nothing to do with him or Will. It's the social media. It's like more mess, get the good ratings, but you also covered some of that in your video, one of your videos.
Absolutely.
That's what's there. Everybody want to get likes.
Absolutely.
It's not about love anymore, loving our brothers and sisters. It's about how many likes we can get, thumbs up.
Absolutely.
We got more liquor stores than, you know, like they say, they used to say, you know, people in church and all of that. And okay, and I dig some of it, but the thing of it is, why aren't the churches doing more with it? We got so many mega churches, but a lot of what I've seen throughout my years is a lot of taking and giving and begging. I don't see a lot of giving back. And I'm like, so you got the members are struggling, and then the pastors are doing very well. They're riding in their Mercedes Benz and the, you know, the Cadillac and the Pastor Appreciation Day, pastor's anniversary. They're doing well, and the flock is struggling. So that's what I had mentioned, and we'll chop it up at the later segment, how the Christianity and everything, you know, the religion thing, it correlates with slavery.
Okay. Well, you know what? We definitely will be discussing is the church letting the community down. I love that. We would definitely come together and chop it up on is the church letting the community down. And in my opinion, right now, and I bring facts, especially for the communities that, you know, I do a lot of work in. I go back over and I work in what they would call the low income communities. And a lot of times in those communities, you deal with people with a whole different mindset.
Yes.
That's a whole different mindset. And a lot of times in those communities, we have people from other countries have come into those communities and bought the stores and run their businesses out of those communities. And our people go and patronize them, and they take that money and they take it back home or wherever they stay, and they leave the community in shambles. And a lot of times I see that the church does the same thing, especially in the low income communities. The people who go to that church, a lot of times, they don't stay in that community. They just come
Right.
in, they have church, and when it's over, they get up out of there. So we definitely going to be discussing if the church is letting the community down. Definitely, definitely. So, Bro D, we got about 9 minutes or so left. I'm not going to hold you long, but I do want to share something with you because, like I said, we always want to make sure that we talk about a solution or two. We never want to leave without giving a solution or two. It seems like you can froze on me. You need to look like you can froze a little bit. We'll get you coming back in just a minute. But let's just make sure that family, make sure you go back and look at those solutions for children, because we got to start working on these solutions. We got a lot of problems that plagues us as a.
You still there, bro?
You got to understand technology. Sometimes it just does what it want to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Sometimes it just does what it want to do. So let's just make sure. I want to ask you this right here, and I want to get your opinion about one solution. First of all, always changing the mindset of the people. Definitely, always first. But I want to ask you this right here and get your opinion, and then we'll hop off and we'll come back and do it again. But we have to stop having children at such a young age. What you think about that? Our children having children.
A lot of that, brother, starts from the foundation. A lot of children, it goes back to sometimes, because the seed, we have to plant the seed. It starts there. So if you have bad seeds, you'll get bad fruit. Okay. So a lot of the children are only doing what they saw mom and dad do or whatever was in the household being done, the foundation. So if you have an unstable foundation, you're going to have an unstable household. If your household is not in order, you're going to have chaos, controversy, and confusion. Those are some very important C's, and regardless of what order you put them in, you're going to get the same results. So if mom didn't have a high standard of teaching good etiquette and all of that, and sometimes bring different men in over the children and everything, how do you think the children are going to turn out?
You're kind of going in and out.
That's what,
I repeat that last part. Repeat that last part again.
Okay. If you have an unstable foundation, the home is unstable, the children are going to mimic what they saw in the home. So if the home is unstable, then, everything else, you're going to have confusion, chaos, and controversy. And it's a cycle, and it's going to go from generation to generation, because you got to keep in mind, brother, everybody's normal is not the same. So say, for instance, you got a good, stable home. And I'll give you this, for instance. This was years ago. I was dating an older young lady. She had 2 kids, and I don't think I had any children at the time. And, she was upset. I was like, well, we worked together too at a hotel. And I couldn't figure out why she was so upset with me the next day at work. And I'm like, I'm feeling this different vibe. It was distance. And I was like, I pull her to the side. What's the problem? So she was upset with me after we chopped it up to get an understanding. She was upset with me because we didn't have relations that night. I said, your children was in the house. Matter of fact, they was in the same room.
Oh, wow.
So she responds to me, oh, well, they was asleep.
Wow.
I said, it's all about respect. I don't do that.
And let me tell you something.
Disrespect anybody's children.
And let me tell you something. And that right there, we're going to leave that right there at a great point. We're going to leave that right there at a great point, because we definitely got to start being careful what our children see us doing.
Absolutely.
What we're doing in front of our children.
There you go.
I'm gonna leave that right there. We're gonna come back together a
Mm-hmm.
couple of nights this week, definitely, and have a great time chopping it up. I
Yeah.
want to thank you for your time, young man, for the
Mm-hmm.
open discussion. I appreciate you so much. So I just want to talk to my YouTube family for just a second. Make sure you go like, subscribe, and share. Make sure you hit those thumbs up. If you would like to be part of a show, shoot me your email address at snfchildren@gmail.com next Sunday. If you would like to be part of the panel, do the same. Shoot me your email address and you can come in on the panel. And that's snfchildren@gmail.com. Bro, D, if you have any closing, I'll let you close and we'll get out of here.
Okay. I just want to say I appreciate your time as well, brother. It's always a pleasure chopping it up. I love what you're doing. And, you know, as the old saying said, it takes a village to raise a child. And that's real literal and everything. And I think you're a very great trailblazer, brother. And we're on our way. You're doing great, great things. And I appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate you too, bro D. And until we come together again, I'll holler. Take care of yourself.
All right, you too, brother.
All right. See you way out.